What's up, dudes? So I ordered a new fragrance again. I actually ordered another one too, another vetiver guerlain because I saw on. Well, I ordered this one through like Fragrance Express or Fragrance X or one of those discount outlets, but it looks like they've been getting more of the guerlain vetiver back in stock, which I haven't had for years, and I kind of ran out of it a long time ago. Anyways, well, besides that, I ordered this other one because it seemed kind of intriguing, and I saw it on their website. Um, and it was only like 26 bucks. So I think I was reading some things about it, and it seemed kind of intriguing and kind of interesting for 26 bucks. Kind of want to try it out and see if I like it or not, or maybe it will, maybe it won't. But anyways, it came in today, and I figured I'd do like a first impression again. Like I've done with some other fragrances that I got before. So I'm gonna do first impression with this one. So let's see what it is. So the first impression with this one is going to be, I mean, I just got it in the box. Got this one from, it's one of those ones. It was one of the cheapest ones, like on eBay or something, but it's like one of the legitimate sites. I wouldn't order anything from an illegitimate site, like 10 reviews or something. It's usually the legitimate sites have like 20,000 reviews or something like that. So, anyways, this is it. Boucheron Pour Homme EDT. So I never smelled this before, of course. Try it out. So it was like, actually, I think this was like 24 bucks or something. I think one of them was 26 bucks and this one was like 24 bucks. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe it was like 23 bucks something. It was like one of those. So anyway, I'm just gonna open it up and my first impression. I heard this is a lemony citrus fragrance. I saw a video or I read that it came out like in 1989, I think, or possibly 1991, but some places say different things about that. It's the Boucheron Eau de Toilette. Comes in this blue sort of lapis lazuli type of box. It's got the gold ring. It's actually kind of like, let's see. All right, so I'm back. So actually, for my hair care product today, actually looks pretty good. I like when it can get. Normally, if you comb your hair, it's just a sort of tip. Normally, like I did videos a long time ago with like bro cream and stuff. And normally, you comb your hair and whatever after you put in a product, and it comes out kind of nice like this. I actually really like this product. Actually, it's actually really good for your hair. And it's pretty thick. And well, if you want to know what it is, well, anyway, let me see. Let me tell you. Okay, so if you can use different things like bro cream. I kind of really like this. I like the smell of it and stuff. It's really nice scent. And it's pretty good. Makes my hair a little bit curly somewhat. This one's pretty good. It's got like a motor oil sort of like greasy motor oil type of scent. It's got like a metal, one of those type of scents. So it's actually pretty good. It's pretty greasy. It's grease. This is a Royal Crown dressing, just the original. This is then I got this one. I use this sometimes actually too. It's pretty simple. Just friggin' hair tonic. It's mineral oil from Vaseline. Um, Actually, you could use stuff like this if you go get like baby oil or something. You could use like baby oil. It's like mineral oil with a fragrance. But the one that I actually used today is pretty good. It was just castor oil from On Brands. I got this actually on Amazon or some of the On Brands, but you can get castor oil for like $2.87 for like a big sort of bottle at Walmart. The kind they sell it as a laxative, so it's like FDA approved sort of version of it. the castor oil. So, but it's really thick, and castor oil is really good for your hair and your skin. I think this is called like balm of Gilead, or it's got some sort of name because it's been used for like thousands of years or whatever. I wouldn't eat it. It's just, this is the castor oil, which is just toxic or something. Um, but it's pretty good, and it's really thick, and I think it's a natural oil. So natural oils are good because they absorb into your hair versus like a mineral oil or something kind of doesn't really absorb in, but biologically speaking. But anyways, back to my first impressions of this. And actually, what I like to do, as I mentioned, like you mat down your hair with your hands like this. It kind of just makes it a little more choppy compared to if you just comb it. If you mat, like, so that's what I do. I just kind of mat it down or whatever with my hands, and just a little more choppy or something. But it's kind of shiny. But anyway, so I got the Boucheron Pour Homme EDT. I'm gonna try this out. My first impression. And I think it's a lemon citrus scent. So I brought up a bunch of other lemon citruses that I have actually. Maybe I'll just introduce them and then I'll do like comparison actually. So I mean, I started with Roca's Pour. I don't really like this scent. I don't think I've done a review on it. Maybe I did. I said it smells kind of like a martini almost, basically, like a gin and tonic. I mean, a gin and vermouth. Yeah, it kind of smells like a martini, but martini's a little bitter. This is not as bitter as this. It's got definitely a citrus in it. This is a citrus kind of watery scent. There's a little bit of spice in it. It's pretty generic, I'd call this fragrance. I haven't really worn it much at all, but I'm kind of getting into actually more of these newer fragrances, Like I don't really like citrus scents that much, but yeah, I'm kind of start liking them a little bit. This is Giorgio for Men. Got swap back. This isn't. It's kind of like a citrus. This is like a powerhouse. This one smells really nice, actually. This is like a ton of patchouli. It's like green patchouli. It's kind of got like that greenish sort of citrusy aspect that's in there. It's basically like a ton of patchouli. When I first sprayed this, it was kind of interesting to me because it smelled exactly like going into my cousin's room in his bedroom when we had to do a sleepover or something like years and years ago when he used to have He-Man toys, and I think the Skeletor came patchouli infused or something, but this smells like exactly like that. And this is what I smelled. And there's a ton of patchouli. It's pretty good. Here's so here's Happy Rouge. It's a citrus. Happy Rouge is a bright, clean, clear sort of smells like a woody popsicle stick to me, like a woody orange popsicle with a woody orange popsicle stick. It's got a nice sort of carnival vibe to it, like fried dough and lemons, and that's just kind of what it smells like to me. I guess this was an homage to horses or something. I could totally see like this type of scent. Anyways, if they had a scent in like a horse stall or something like that to cover up the manure and all that crap, but it does have a pretty good scent. I guess it has roses in it or something, but to me, it's sort of like way up here. There's no sort of kind of depth to it. It's kind of a little bit almost hollow, you might say, or just kind of bright and sort of cheery notes. I mean, it's a pretty good fragrance. It's really fresh smelling, quite citrusy and kind of sugary, like dusty or something. Here's one. This is Armani Eau Pour Homme. I got this a while back too. When I flew to California, and then I was walking to the airport and I saw this at one of those perfume places. I smelled it and I was like, that's not bad. So I ended up buying it when I went home. This is it's another citrus. It's pretty good. Um, it's sort of got a touch of floral in there. I guess it's lily, but it's got a really green, like a green lemon. This type of citrus, kind of sharp, kind of very green. I guess this said on their website it was California green lemon. Is what they listed for an ingredient. And there's a citrus, but it's got I think a little bit of touch of patchouli later on. It's sort of like a green. If you go to a store or something, scrape a green citrus. It's not a yellow citrus. It's kind of, that's what that one is. Not bad. Pretty good like office scent or something. Then I've got Eau de Cologne, Eau de Coke. So I actually got quite a few citrus scents, even though they're not my favorite, but they're not really that bad actually. If you want something light and not this powerhouse fragrance all the time, This eau de coke is actually a really nice scent. This is from Guerlain. This is one of the originals from Aimé Guerlain, 1894. I guess he created this, but it's like 30 bucks or something. This smells. I'm not gonna spray it, but it's eau de cologne, so it doesn't last. Maybe a couple hours, like 2 hours or something. But it smells really good. It's got oranges in it, like orange, almost like an orange sherbet, and there's a lot of herbs in here, like it's got a lot of green herbs in there, and even some lavender, I think, too. There's a little bit of lavender in there too. It's pretty good. One that's kind of in a similar aspect of citrus and herbs and lavender is this one. It's Roca's Mustache. This one is, the Eau de Cologne de Coke smells really nice. This one smells, it's got a little bit of a rough, more masculine aspect to it than that. This is Eau de Toilette. This one's got quite a bit of rough sort of spiciness in it. And it smells kind of all like herbs, almost like kitchen herbs or something, but really green. I think there might be patchouli or there's something like that in there. I read it in their website. You could look it up. But there's actually a lot of lavender in here. It smells really nice, and a lot of a really nice warm yellow citrus up front. This one definitely is more of a masculine, a little bit tad macho type of fragrance. If you see like an old vintage ad where this has it's a woman in her bikini with a gun, something, and it says in French, either you're with me or you're against me. I guess this came out in 1949, I think. So, it's a pretty good fragrance, actually. Um, then I got Versace, L'Homme de Versace. This is another citrus powerhouse sort of fragrance. Um, it's got some citrus in it, but it's also got quite a sort of confectionery note, like marzipan or something like that. It's got a really thick confectionery, almost pastry type of scent with a ton of this I don't know what this sharp kind of bracing sort of tanginess to it, but it has a lot of like a citrusy aspect too. It's quite powerhouse, quite thick. It's a great one to wear out, like if you're going out to the bowling alley or something like that. Like having fun, like a kind of get together kind of atmosphere. I think it's a pretty good scent for that. It's a pretty strong scent, so I don't think it'll be a dark type of scent at all. In any case, and finally, the other citrus scent. I don't know if I have any more, but this is Capucci Pour Homme. I got this a while back too. This came out in the 60s. This is a pretty cheap fragrance too, and I think it's the original bottle and all that stuff they've ever had. But this one, it's got another one of those nice sort of warm citruses, but this is a really old, like the definition of old school. If I was gonna say like old man, if I was gonna put a label like that on fragrance, I'd say like this is like kind of the definition for me of that type of fragrance. Like it's definitely an old dude, in like a sport coat blazer type of thing. Um, kind of vibe. It came out in the '60s, and it's probably trying to smell like quite mature at that in that era. But it's got like it's pretty good scent. It's kind of cozy. It's quite mature. But it's basically citrus. I think it's got a lot of anise in this, sort of a touch of a licoriceiness, and it's got a lot of sort of spice like cinnamon or something. But pretty old school fragrance, and it's pretty nice, almost like grandfatherly in a way. Still, it's good if you like that type of fragrance. Well, finally, here's Boucheron Pour Homme. Let's do a first impression on this. It's supposed to be a citrusy fragrance. I'm trying not to have the video too long. I want to go through some other citruses, if citrus is your thing. Well, now I'm ready, I guess, to try this one. So, Boucheron Pour Homme. Here it is in my hand. I saw it online and then I ordered it. Bottle. So, I don't know. I always thought it was maybe like an Indian type of style, like Taj Mahal. I think that, they have the Jaipur fragrance, which I haven't tried, but I guess it's supposed to be like a cabochon for one of their watches, like the side where you twist it to wind your watch or something. It's supposed to be like a sapphire, of course. It's supposed to be gold, but Boucheron Pour Homme. Pretty cool bottle, a little bit gaudy actually, but I mean it's the fragrance that counts. Try this out, Boucheron Pour Homme. Yeah, I just think maybe this would be like something that you see sitting on somebody who comes from a really Italian family or something, like sitting on their dresser. But let's try this out. These are the new bottles. You gotta kind of twist the cap a little bit. So I don't smell anything out of there. So let's try this. Okay. First impression. It's really nice. This is very nice. It's my first impression is it's a very green, fresh, sort of spiky, almost in a way of Pour Homme to get on that sharp spikiness up front of the lavender. But this isn't lavender. It's very green smelling, and I quite like that. So very green, almost a powdery sort of laundry detergent touch in there. Sort of spiky. I mean, yeah, it smells quite good. I'm digging this. My first impression. Maybe I'm smelling a little bit of sort of a floral aspect, like a rose or something. Yeah, like I think like a rose, like a little bit of touch of powderiness, touch of floral, sort of rose smell. It almost kind of smells almost exactly like this rose Dove soap which I have in the shower, and I kind of like using that as the pink Dove soap, and it's for rose. Yeah. Some roses smell different than others. Like if I smell tea rose or something, I don't really like that fragrance too much. It's too sharp, but a powdery sort of rose, a powdery rich sort of pink rose or something like that is appealing to me. This kind of smells like that a bit. Hmm. Yeah, I quite like this fragrance actually. That's kind of all I'm getting at this point. I mean, it started off kind of a green, sort of sharp, almost kind of herbal sort of um, spikiness, like a I don't know if it smelled lemony or not. Maybe kind of closest to the Armani Eau Pour Homme, the green sharp lemon. It's kind of wasn't that aspect, but it didn't smell entirely lemony in any way. It just smelled that greenness, that green sort of freshness, and then now it's like more of that pink rosy, almost powderiness. It's actually quite an awesome fragrance. I really like that kind of style. I like kind of powdery fragrances. I like green fragrances. I'm not a huge fan of citrus fragrances, like I've already said. Um, I mean, I can wear them for sure, but like Heavy Rouge is definitely not a favorite scent of mine, but I've worn it a bunch of times. Um, I'm more interested in the vetiver actually. I smelled that one. It's like $1 million. This one's actually for me a pretty top quality scent. I definitely smell. I mean, it just smells kind of almost like a powdery pink rose or something. Actually, almost like a bar of soap, but not quite. It's not really reaching soapiness. You could see if it was pushing that direction, it could go there. It kind of does a little bit. It's a little bit of like a soapiness in here, but it's not really soapy. But it kind of is. You could say it is, but it's not like full on like a powerhouse like a Van Cleef & Arpels Pour Homme or something, which is quite strong in that aspect. But yeah, I like that green sort of that green scent at the front, and then I get the feeling that it's transitioning into something else at this point, but I'm not sure what. Um, so I'll just see what it does while I go to the Boucherons. So the only way I could find out the Boucheron to see if I can find like what Boucheron says about this fragrance. I don't find it on their actual website, like a lot of scents. Most scents you do, but a lot of scents you kind of don't. You have to. This one, anyways, is on interparfums.fr website. So Interparfums fragrances, and they have different brands. They have Boucheron, they have Coach, they have Jimmy Choo, they have Karl Lagerfeld. Like, I guess if you want to look up that fragrance, they have Lanvin fragrances. They have Montclair, they have Mont Blanc, they have Rochas. So they have all the Rochas fragrances, like Moustache and all that. I think you can actually find those fragrances on Rocha's website. That's where I saw them before. Saint Dupont, and they have Van Cleef and Arpels, which interestingly, no, they just have like, I don't see the Van Cleef and Arpels Pour Homme, but I think that one was discontinued or something, right? You know. So Boucheron Pour Homme is getting. There is something else down in there. Almost getting to a, almost smells a touch of like a sort of confectionery or maybe a resonate, but sort of a confectionery aspect, similar to, I'd say the Versace L'Homme had that, and the Habit Rouge has that, and what else has that? But it's not like that. It's actually more of that rosy sort of powderiness kind of aspect. It's actually quite like this fragrance. Definitely smells nice. So yeah, um, yeah. So they don't list any of the Van Cleef and Arpels like Czar. I'd like to get that fragrance, but I think that's discontinued. The Van Cleef and Arpels Pour Homme. I actually do have that fragrance. I bought it a while ago. But anyways, this is the Boucheron Pour Homme Eau de Parfum and Eau de Toilette. It says the Boucheron Man, classic refined. Yeah. The intention. The wide-shouldered bottle is enhanced with gadroon edges to recall the company's Reflet watches. So this is to pay in. The bottle is Boucheron Homme is to luxury watchmaking. Is what they say. The fragrance. So it says olfactory family, citrus, woody, aromatic. Yeah, I mean you do kind of get the citrus, I guess, but it's not a dominant citrus. At least what I smell right now. But I'm actually starting to smell a little bit of like a yellow lemon. Well, let's see what it says. It says top notes, bergamot, verbena. That's probably that green sharpness up front. Bergamot and verbena. Middle notes is coriander and basil, and I just love the smell of coriander. Maybe that adds to it. Coriander is like a orangey, tropical, citrusy sort of herb smell. If you ever get coriander and crush it up, it smells amazing. And base notes, patchouli and sandalwood. So that's going to be the powderiness, sort of woodiness, and maybe it's starting to go that direction. Because I do smell some type of warmth. Yeah, I mean, if I think of those notes and kind of smelling it, yeah, I could say like probably sandalwood mostly. It's got sort of like a really light, spicy sort of woodiness. Maybe patchouli's added to that. But there must be more notes in here. Like I said, I was kind of smelling a strong sort of rose. But what they say is top notes. So it says bergamot, verbena, coriander, basil, and patchouli and sandalwood. Anyways, that's what they say on this website. So anyways, Boucheron Pour Homme Eau de Toilette. That's the one I got. It's quite nice. I actually quite like this on my first impressions. So anyways, I probably gave a ton of information. Oh, one more thing. This is another fragrance that I forgot to. Yeah, I didn't show this one in the citruses, but this is another citrus that I got a little while back. And I was gonna say that's why I went to get all these boxes. Kind of like it's like a blue. It's like a lapis, and it's like a blue velvet or something. So I just thought they were kind of similar. But this is another citrus that let's see what this. So this is Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme Eau de Toilette. pretty big kind of bottle. This scent is definitely, it's a lot different than this scent. This scent's more like a floral type of thing. You know, if you like that, softer. This scent's much much more, if you could say, that confectionery note that's in like Versace Luma or Heavy Rouge, kinda. Heavy Rouge is a pretty light scent though, but I'd say like Versace almost thickens that. This has a thick sort of confectionery almost scent too. It's like I just think of like marzipan or something when I think of those thick fragrances, but this one, it smelled, when I first smelled it, it was kind of a little generic almost, but then, I mean, it was obviously this thick sort of fragrance, and I was kind of, I've kind of been here and there with this scent, but more important, I've kind of begun to like appreciate it a bit more. I guess it has a lot of orange blossom in it, but it's pretty, not really citrusy, but it's more like an orange blossomy, almost confectionery, quite a thick fragrance. And there's touches of powder and stuff that come up in this, which is really nice. It's kind of grown on me a little bit, so it's a pretty good fragrance. This one, though, I just kind of like this one, just straight up. So this definitely goes into like a fragrance in like in my style, you know, I can say that. So anyways, Boucheron Pour Homme Eau de Toilette. I got was sort of a really nice green fragrance up front, and then it started transitioning into like a rose with a touch of powder in it, like a pink rose with a little touch of powderiness, and almost just like a little bit of a soapiness, you know. And now I think it's like kind of going in more into a baseline of a really softness, kind of spicy, kind of woodiness. It's pretty nice fragrance. So Boucheron Pour Homme Eau de Toilette. That's my first impressions. So there you go. Check it out.